Hello everyone, my name is Rob, I'm from the Insane Gamers, and this is Gran Turismo 6 part 39, and we're going to continue the International B event by doing this, the Tour of America. And of course we've got to have an American vehicle for this, but all of them have got 4 laps. Great. I apologise if the last episode the audio and video was out of sync. If it was, I have no idea. I had normally when I do videos I sync the audio and video up, but for some reason I forgot to do that. You know, I should probably check what the maximum allowed vehicles are. 600 or less, United States, right? Also, I can hear a noise, but I don't know if... No, it does sound like someone reversing, but it must be from the game. Max upper limit, yes, 600. Country, United States. There we go. See, genius. Oh wow. Oh yeah, I already own the Ford K. No way I was going to use that one. Let's try and get a car with exactly 600 people. If possible. Oh no, we have the Dodge. As long as it has sport tires, we should be fine, right? Car list. Was it the Viper? Let's see if the Viper got... Yeah, it's more powerful somehow. Car settings. I win Viper violet color as well, apparently. We need to change. No, the tires are exactly as they need to be. So let's actually do this. Let's do the tour. What the hell just happened there? The tour of America. Let's do this. 4 laps. Willow Springs International Motorsports Park is where we are. And this has dramatic music in the background. We're going up against other Vipers, Fords, Corvettes, and the C1203, whatever that is. Going up against Dodges and Chryslers as well. And a Ford Focus RX. Apparently. I have no idea why we're going up against that. But apparently we are, so let's go up against it. Again with the no speedo for a little bit thing. I want to know why that happens. We have 4 laps and the acceleration is already insane on this thing. Although I did drive it, although you guys did not see this. There was a challenge and it was in one of the episodes and I was going to be like, this must be the C12, I'm guessing. What are you? I can't tell what brand of car it is. I'm just going to overtake it. Yeah. I did there was a Dodge Viper seasonal event and I was like, yeah, I'll do that because I need cash and you could win an F1 car or something if you did it. And I was trying to do it and it was going to be an episode and I recorded it and everything. Oh no, I did a race and then I was like, oh, because it was a Vision Gran Turismo event. I think it's the one where I do 3 Vision Gran Turismo cars actually, that video. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do these 3 Vision Gran Turismo cars and that won't take long and then I'll do this Dodge Viper thing and then it just ends. The reason for that is I tried to do that shit and then I've gone, holy... It's that corner. I can never take that corner. Yeah. I tried to do the Dodge Viper thing, but it took me like an hour to do it, and I didn't even win. I got very, very close to doing it. I was like 0.01 seconds off actually getting the gold that I needed to get in. The problem was the track that it puts you on the Dodge Viper. There's like a corner, and the Dodge Viper's brakes are not built for that corner, and it's awful. Hey, apparently we're going up against the Ford. No, there's no way a Ford Shelby will be in front of a Ford GT. No way. To be honest, there's technically no way a Dodge Viper would be in front of a Ford GT if I managed to overtake it. Oh, let's do this. Or bump it, apparently. Yeah, that's the way you get ahead, you bump it. Yeah, this corner is just... It's so long. And you're going so fast sometimes that it's just... awful. There's someone in this race called W Justice. Which I find interesting. W Justice. This is a insanely quick accelerating vehicle, I'll tell you that much. Also, I think this may be the track that I think I've been on the most. One of them, anyway. The thing is, every time I do it, I'm obviously on it with a different vehicle. And it is difficult to control. And you know what I'm also going to do? After this race, I'm going to look for a certain Ford vehicle, because if it's in this game, that'll be amazing. And I'll probably buy it, say, if it's not too expensive. There's a Ford vehicle, I can't remember if it's in the Ford Europe or Ford Australia. It's under one of those on Gran Turismo 3, and apparently it is in this game. I checked the Gran Turismo wiki, but I can't remember which brand it's under. Probably be under Ford Australia, in my honest opinion, because that's what I believe it was under in Gran Turismo 3. And I'm going to look at it and I'm going to buy it, because that car was amazing. Interesting thing about Gran Turismo 3, the PAL version, which is the European version. A bunch of vehicles removed from it, and it has some exclusive vehicles, if I remember correctly. Also, yeah, I think there's like a Porsche in the code somewhere that's missing in the European version, and then there's like a Lamborghini or something that's missing, and then there's a bunch of other things, but then there's like, I think there's like more F1 cars or something. Finish, woohoo! Of course, Tour of America, race 1, done. Yep. I chose the car in purple just because it looked cool. Also because it looks like a purple Cobra. Starting grid. Yeah. So apparently we did 9 miles there. 9 miles. Right, let's look for that Ford. If we can move, there we go. Dealership, no. Vision Gran Turismo. Dealerships. And let's look. So this is Europe. Let's look for. Is there even a Ford here? No, there is not a Ford Europe, so that's completely fine. Let's ignore that. There's Ford Australia. Yeah, here it is. It's the only car. Oh, it's $1 million. Do I want it? That is the question. Yeah, why the hell not? It's clearly a Gran Turismo 4 model that they haven't upscaled. Well, they have upscaled, but you know what I mean. Delivering? No, I don't want to use it yet. It's the only car in Ford Australia. But that's what it was under, so... yeah, whatever. Right. Let's do Mazda Laguna... Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. What's with, like, the horrible fake rock guitars in the background? Like, the main menu, it's like jazz music, and then this is, like, really dramatic music. I know, like, it's supposed to be, like, America, but... really? Also, we've got a 2000 Camaro. I didn't even think they made the Camaros back. Oh no, they did. I think I know what that looks like. I had a Hot Wheels of one. Yeah. Or Matchbox, one of those two. It was probably Matchbox, because Matchbox were always the ones that made real life cars. And then... yeah, I know that. It's the only issue, of course, is that the one that I had was a convertible version. Yeah. It was the convertible one. It had, like, an American flag on it. I can't believe I'm describing this car. I probably still have it because I have, like, a box full of them. Just in the loft. What the Americans would call an attic, so that an attic. I don't know why I said that louder than I should have. Yeah, what the Americans would call an attic. It's up there somewhere. But it had an American flag. It was white. Pretty cool. Is it a Matchbox or Hot Wheels? Both, of course, owned by Mattel. Move out the way. Shall be something. Oh god, the Charger there drifting in front of me. Yeah, and then they stopped making the Camaro, and then they made the concept version for the Transformers movie, and then or something like that, and then guess what? It became popular enough in which it was actually made. I don't get why people rip on them. Well, I do, because I watched it when I was about, hang on, 2005 that came out, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It's like 2007. I would have been 10. Right. So, yeah, as a 10-year-old, that Transformers movie pretty cool, but probably not anymore. Probably awful nowadays. Who knows? I do know apparently the fourth one's reportedly terrible. So, yeah. I have no idea why I did that. I thought I had more time to grab the microphone. To check if it's actually on. Forgetting that I'm in a car that accelerates so quick. Yeah, this is a quick vehicle. Well, if Top Gear was on, I would want them to redo the challenge that they did. But it was like, are video games quicker? Well, are video games realistic? Because they did it with Gran Turismo 4 and this track and Clarkson in an NSX and playing it in the game. So you know, if they could do it again, you know, with a full race setup and everything, which I'm not using, I think that'd be pretty cool. I would want to do that at some point. Like, if this channel ever became so popular that I could like afford shit like that, yeah, I'd do it for you guys. Full race setup, you know, proper driving wheel, seat, pedals, gear stick even. And it'd be so useful because it'd work for so many games. Maybe not the Xbox ones, but the PS3 and the PC, yeah, that would work for so many. I would love to do that, but you know, honestly, at this moment in time, I doubt that's gonna happen. You know what the other issue is? Like, people, I've seen it on the Let's Play subreddit. It's like, oh, you should contact game developers and, you know, play their indie games. And that's how you get noticed now on YouTube. You play the indie games because the indie developers are more likely to give you a code, even if you're small, because they're likely to be small as well. And big developers are only going to stick to the most popular YouTubers, so the way you get them is to play the indie games. But the issue is, there's hardly ever any indie racing games. I mean, what kind of thing? iRacing? That's not really, I don't know, like Project Cars? I can't think of any others. R Factor maybe, yeah. But I mean, some of these are like published by actual massive companies as well, aren't they? I have no idea. I mean, it would have been fine back in the PS2 days, because the PS2 days, right, you could have got a budget game, £5, which, you know, you could afford, and it could have been the world's shittiest racing game, because I remember I have Ford Racing 3 because I got to play it again for Rob vs PS2 when that comes back. And I mean, that was £10 brand new, if I remember when I bought it, and that was like on launch, around launch day, and it was a terrible game. But guess what? It was made by a small developer, and it got a release because there was no online distribution. Really, that back then, that was very successful. I mean, Steam had just come out for Half-Life 4, Half-Life 4, Jesus Christ, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 4, yeah. And that game is disappointing, but I could have played it if YouTube was even around back then. But I can't really. I have to play, like, racing games. You only hear about the big budget ones now. I mean, you got your Gran Turismo, you got your Forza. And then Project Cars, obviously, Drive Club. And those are the only sim ones that I can think of. Because these games cost so much money, you can't really make a sim, like, unless you Kickstarter it. You can't make a sim racing game by yourself. There is one that Barrier Bugs was playing. I'm trying to think of what its name was. It might be one that I've listed. but I don't think it was. I'll Google it at the end of this race. If I remember. Remind me, guys. I mean, hell, Codemasters are in trouble. I mean, you have Dirt Rally. That's in Steam Early Access because I don't think they can afford to develop it without funds for the game. So they made so much, and then we're like, yep, release it on Steam Early Access, and then if it does well, we'll release it on consoles. If enough people buy it and we finish it. Well, hopefully because they're an actual game studio that has a long history. Because they go back to like what? Sega. They go back further than that. I don't know, they go further than your Mega Drive. They go like back to NES. At least in Europe. Like PC. Like PCs around that time when the NES launched. So it'd be like the ZX Spectrum and shit. And yes, the ZX Spectrum, not the ZX Spectrum. Anyway, that is the thing. I mean, when you have actual game studios, like, look, right, let's look at this right now. You have Codemasters, which is a huge British game studio, in trouble, pretty much, unable to make games, really. Hell, I'm Let's Playing Dirt Showdown. I don't even particularly like that, but I might, you know, if an early access type thing was on Xbox One, I'd probably do it. Anyway, yeah, so you have them unable to make games. You have like Konami laying off a shitload of people and saying we're probably going to switch to mobile. Because it's cheaper, and you have like Silent Hills, and even though I don't particularly like horror games, stuff like that cancelled. You have EA doing well, but shutting down studios because their games are underperforming. You have Ubisoft probably in trouble because their games aren't doing well. That much, like they're doing well, but they're not doing amazing. You have Sega literally making mobile games now because they can't afford to do it. I mean, Nintendo, yeah, they have a shitload of money in the bank, but they can afford to do it. They could, there was a thing where it was like they can afford to have a couple of consoles fail before they'll go under. But still, I mean, apart from people that own I don't know anyone that has a Wii U. Apart from people on YouTube. And you know what's crazy about that? About nearly everyone I know in real life is a gamer. And yet, I don't know anyone that has a Wii U. Actually, no, I know one person, actually. Now that I think about it, because I saw them on Skype. Saying Splatoon arrived, which is good, because I have Splatoon even though I don't even have a Wii U. It's just that I suspect that it's probably going for quite a lot on eBay, considering the fact that nearly all the copies in the UK were stolen. Read up about that. If I'd got up through a different retailer. Essentially the main retailer in the UK that was getting all the copies, their truck got stolen at Nintendo's warehouse, along with a shitload of Amiibos. But because Nintendo had already shipped them all off to Amazon, I was completely fine. So you have all these game studios just like, what the hell happened to Empire Interactive on PS2? Who knows? Probably gone now. Acclaim went under back in PS2 days. Activision, I'm trying to think of... Activision will do well with Call of Duty, probably. Although the sales are declining on them. So even that's going. The issue, right? When you're trying to make all these games like 4K quality and insanely cinematic, it's not working. Like, it looks good, but it costs too much and you don't get as many games. Like, look at the PS... I mean, yes, the PS2 was what? 13 years? It had a 13-year run. But still, look at the amount of PS2 games that were released. And then look at the amount of Xbox 360X. I actually suspect they're pretty... No, hang on. No, the PS2 had like 4,000. And the Xbox 360 had at most 2,000. Right, and I'm sure quite a lot of those PS2 games were shit, but they were and budget games. But the fact is, games need to go down in price. I think they need to make development cheap. And digital distribution can do that, but not when internet connections are pretty slow. So things need to change in the gaming industry, is what I'm trying to say. Because if they don't, it's all gonna go. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Rob, I've been from the Insane Gamers. I'm now going to do the Gran Turismo Academy thing. Thank you very much for watching. Ta-ra.